Artificial intelligence is changing our cities. AI is now deeply embedded in the real estate market, influencing decisions about where to build and how much to charge. This technology holds immense potential for good, but risks exacerbating social inequalities. Algorithms predict property values and automate tenant screening. Lack of transparency raises concerns about bias and fairness. The future of our cities depends on harnessing AI for good, while mitigating inequality. To understand AI's role in gentrification, we need to peel back the layers of the algorithm. These models are trained on vast datasets, including property values, crime rates, demographics, and social media trends. The algorithm identifies patterns to predict outcomes like rising property values or reliable tenants. If the data reflects historical biases, the algorithm will perpetuate them. For instance, it may unfairly penalize minority applicants based on biased data. This can create a self-fulfilling prophecy, shaping the city's landscape. Remember, behind every algorithm are human developers and decision-makers. One of the most concerning aspects of AI-driven gentrification is its potential to exacerbate the affordable housing crisis gripping cities across the globe. As algorithms identify investment opportunities and drive up demand in specific neighborhoods, the cost of housing, both for renters and buyers, inevitably rises. This disproportionately impacts low-income residents who are often priced out of their own communities. Imagine a neighborhood where generations of families have lived, worked, and built a life together. Suddenly, an influx of new residents attracted by AI-powered predictions of rising property values drives up rents and makes it impossible for long-time residents to remain. Businesses close, community ties are severed, and the neighborhood's character undergoes a dramatic transformation. When AI-powered algorithms prioritize profit over people, we risk creating cities that are increasingly homogenous and inaccessible to all but the wealthy. We must find ways to harness the power of AI to address the affordable housing crisis, not exacerbate it. The use of AI in real estate raises concerns about digital redlining, a modern manifestation of historical discriminatory practices. Redlining, a term coined in the 1960s, refers to the systematic denial of services, such as mortgages and insurance, to residents of specific neighborhoods, often based on race or ethnicity. While explicit redlining is now illegal, the use of AI in real estate has the potential to perpetuate similar discriminatory outcomes, even if unintentionally. Algorithms trained on biased data can perpetuate historical patterns of segregation and inequality. For instance, if an algorithm is fed data that reflects past discriminatory lending practices, it may unfairly flag minority neighborhoods as high risk, making it more difficult for residents to secure mortgages or access affordable financing. This can create a vicious cycle, where historical disadvantages are reinforced and amplified by AI-powered systems. Moreover, the lack of transparency in many AI-driven real estate platforms makes it difficult to identify and address potential biases. Combating digital redlining requires a multi-pronged approach. The rapid pace of technological advancement often leaves policymakers and communities struggling to keep up. The rise of AI in real estate is a prime example of this dilemma. While the technology offers undeniable benefits in terms of efficiency and convenience, it also presents significant challenges, particularly when it comes to displacement. The displacement dilemma arises when the benefits of innovation are not shared equally, and certain groups bear a disproportionate burden of the costs. In the context of AI-driven gentrification, this means that while some may benefit from increased property values and access to new amenities, others are priced out of their homes and communities, forced to relocate to less desirable and often less resourced areas. This displacement has far-reaching consequences, not only for individuals and families, but also for the social fabric of our cities. We must find ways to ensure that technological innovation, including the use of AI in real estate, benefits all members of society, not just a select few. The use of AI in real estate is not just a technical issue, it's a deeply human one. Behind the algorithms are real people, families, and communities. When algorithms perpetuate bias, the consequences can be devastating, leading to further segregation and inequality. Imagine a young family denied a mortgage because an algorithm flagged their neighborhood as high risk. Or consider a single mother, passed over for an apartment due to an AI tool predicting eviction risk. These are not isolated incidents, they represent the human cost of algorithmic bias. We must be vigilant in addressing these biases, ensuring algorithms promote fairness and opportunity. The growing influence of AI in real estate demands a robust ethical framework to guide its development and deployment. We need to move beyond the hype and recognize that AI is not a neutral tool. It reflects the values and priorities of its creators. As such, we must ensure that AI systems are designed and used in a way that aligns with our shared values of fairness, equity, and social justice. Transparency and accountability are paramount. We need to understand how these algorithms work, what data they are trained on, and how they are being used to make decisions that impact people's lives. This requires clear guidelines and regulations for the development and deployment of AI in real estate, as well as mechanisms for redress when these systems cause harm. Furthermore, we need to foster a broader conversation about the ethical implications of AI, involving not just technologists and policymakers, but also community members, ethicists, and social scientists. The time to act is now. As AI becomes increasingly integrated into the fabric of our cities, it's crucial to address the digital divide that prevents many, particularly those from marginalized communities, from accessing and benefiting from these technologies. The digital divide encompasses not just access to the internet and digital devices, but also digital literacy, the ability to use and navigate technology effectively. When it comes to AI in real estate, the digital divide can have significant consequences. Those without access to technology, or the skills to use it effectively, may be at a disadvantage when it comes to finding affordable housing, navigating complex rental applications, or understanding their rights as tenants. This can perpetuate existing inequalities and create new barriers to opportunity. Bridging the digital divide requires a multifaceted approach, including investments in affordable internet access, digital literacy programs, and community-based technology centers. Furthermore, it's essential to involve marginalized communities in the development and deployment of AI systems, ensuring that their voices are heard and their needs are met. The intersection of AI and urban development presents both challenges and opportunities. While the potential for AI to exacerbate gentrification is real, it's important to remember that technology is not inherently deterministic. We have the power to shape its development and deployment, steering it towards more equitable and inclusive outcomes. This requires a fundamental shift in our mindset, moving beyond a narrow focus on efficiency and profit maximization towards a more holistic vision of AI that prioritizes social good. We need to ask ourselves, how can AI be used to create more affordable housing, promote sustainable development, and empower communities? These are just a few examples of how AI can be harnessed to create more equitable and inclusive cities. Realizing this vision requires collaboration, innovation, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. Creating more equitable and just cities in the age of AI requires more than just technical solutions. It demands collective action and a commitment to social justice. We need to move beyond individualistic approaches and embrace the power of community organizing, advocacy, and civic engagement. Residents, particularly those from marginalized communities most vulnerable to displacement, must have a seat at the table when decisions are being made about the use of AI in their neighborhoods. This requires building power from the ground up, organizing tenant unions, and advocating for policies that prioritize affordable housing, community land trusts, and equitable development. Furthermore, we need to hold policymakers accountable for ensuring that AI is used responsibly and ethically. This includes enacting legislation that promotes transparency in algorithmic decision-making, prohibits digital redlining, and protects the rights of tenants facing displacement. The fight for equitable algorithms is ultimately a fight for the soul of our cities. The rise of AI presents both unprecedented challenges and extraordinary opportunities for our cities. While the potential for AI to exacerbate gentrification and displacement is real, we must not succumb to techno-determinism. Technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or ill. The future of our cities depends on our ability to harness the power of AI for the benefit of all residents, not just a privileged few. This requires a fundamental shift in our approach, one that prioritizes social justice, equity, and the common good. We need to move beyond a narrow focus on efficiency and profit maximization, and embrace a more holistic vision of AI that values human dignity, community well-being, and the preservation of our shared urban spaces. By working together, we can ensure that AI is used to create more just, equitable, and inclusive urban environments for generations to come.